I often get asked by filmmakers what I need to start composing the music for their film. And it really depends where in the filmmaking process they are, either in pre-production or in post-production. There are a few factors that come into play regardless of which stage it's in, and that is the logistics, such as timeline and budget, and the creative direction. If a film is in pre-production, so a director or producer approaches me because they have a script they're working on, and they like my previous work, the process usually goes something like this. We talk about the budget they have for the music and what's possible for that budget. Meaning if it's a small budget, I'll probably be playing or programming all of the music by myself since we wouldn't be able to hire an orchestra. Or if it's a bigger budget, we talk about what additional instrumentalists we'd like to hire. And once we have an understanding regarding the budget, I love to get a contract finalized. And the whole point of a contract is just to make sure that we're all set so we can start talking creative direction without needing to think about formalities again. The contracts are a whole other topic, so if you'd like to see a video on that, please just leave a comment below. In this pre-production scenario, since there's no footage to compose directly to, I'll usually start by making sketches, essentially workshopping some musical ideas based on the themes and characters. If the director has a lookbook or any musical references, I'll draw on those as inspiration. I did a film called Huracán on HBO Max. And in this film, I was brought on during the script stage, so I read the script a few times, talked with the director, and started composing overtures, 1 or 2 minute pieces of music where I showed the director different directions of thematic phrases and presented different types of instruments. Essentially, I was trying to zero in on a sonic palette for the film. And once we found that palette, we were comfortable that using those elements would work once the film was ready for scoring to picture. The other scenario, which is more common, is that the film is already shot and edited. In this case, after the contract, there are 2 things the composer needs in order to start working: spotting notes and assets. Spotting notes are a list of where the director would like music and what type of music that should be. Sometimes it's very specific, but sometimes it's more general, such as how the music might function. But if they have specific ideas and even musical references, that would be included in the spotting notes. When possible, we watch the film together and talk about each scene. That's called a spotting session. That was a lot more frequent before COVID, but I've had the pleasure of a few spotting Zoom sessions in the new era. Once all of the spotting is done, a composer will need the actual movie to compose to. Sometimes this is the full cut of the film, but more often it is broken up into reels, or occasionally even scenes. A reel is usually a third or a fourth of the film, or sometimes even a fifth, depending on the length and where it makes sense to make a break in the movie. For short films or serial projects, it could be just one movie file. The preference is usually to get a .mov file, since sometimes MP4 files have latencies when being imported and exported into different programs. When sending a composer the movie, it's best to send 2 versions, one with and one without any temporary music that is put in the film during editing. This is called a temp score. Temp scores are very divisive, which again is another video, so comment below if you want to see one on that. But regardless of if you use temp music in your film, send a version without it. Basically, a composer needs to be able to reference the temporary music, but also be able to have the movie without it so they can compose directly to picture. So now that you know what a composer needs at the most basic level in order to start composing the score to your film, reach out to your favorite composer and start marrying music and picture. And of course, if you like this content, please feel free to subscribe. And if you want to learn more about me and the films I've scored, you can check out my website, romanmolinodunn.com, and of course my recording studio, miratone.com. Both links below. Thanks for watching and see you next time.